A very good evening to all of you, all the viewers in India, a good evening, and all the viewers from abroad, a very good morning. Today, we have a special invitee with us to this faculty talk of Dr. Mahendra Bhandari, who is the CEO of Vattikuti Foundation, none other than the founder of Vattikuti himself, Dr. Mani Menon. So Dr. Mani Menon is the Rajendra and Padma Vattikuti Chair in Urologic Oncology at Henry Ford Health System. He is also the Clinical Professor of Urology at Case Western Reserve University, University of Toledo, New York University Medical School, Wayne State University School of Medicine, and also a senior uh, at surgery at Harvard University. He started his career and graduated from JIPMER Pondicherry, and then later joined John Hopkins Hospital and did his residency and fellowship with Dr. Patrick Walsh. And then he became the chairman and professor of the Division of Urologic and Transplantation Surgery at University of Massachusetts. And he was the youngest chairman in the country at that time. In 1997, he became chairman of the Department of Urology at Henry Ford Hospital and established the first cancer-oriented robotic programs in the world. In fact, he was the first to do a robotic radical prostatectomy in the United States. Since 2013, the Vattikuti Urology Institute technique of robotic kidney transplant has been successfully adopted at multiple institutions across the world. He is currently in the process of setting up a formal clinical trial for the precision prostatectomy approach to carcinoma prostate. Dr. Menon has been recipient of multiple awards. To name a few, the Gold Cystoscope Award of American Urological Association. In 2014, he was awarded the Hugh Hampton Young Award by AUA. In 2016, he was awarded the Case Medal, recognized as the greatest individual citation by the Genitourinary Surgery Association. And in 2008, he was awarded the highest medical professional award, Dr. B.C. Rai Award, from the President of India. He has been the visiting professor of more than 50 universities all over the world. And he has more than 1,000 peer-reviewed publications in the various journals. So welcome, Dr. Mani Menon, to this platform. We are really honored and proud to have you, both the living legends today, Dr. Mani Menon and Dr. Bhandari. Because Dr. Mani has to leave because of some urgent commitment, and so we will change our custom a little bit. I would invite first Dr. Mani Menon to give a brief comment or talk on his journey from establishing the robotic surgical program at the outset of the 21st century, that is nearly in 2000, to this point of time. So welcome, Dr. Mani Menon. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Priyadarshi, and I apologize because of a conflict in scheduling. I have 4 things going on at the same time, I have to go see patients. I'm winding down at Henry Ford, so these aren't patients I can put off for a period of time. I'll be going and to New York, joining one of Dr. Bhandari's residents, Ashutosh Tiwari, in his department at Mount Sinai. Much of my career has followed Mahin's footsteps, and we have been friends since 1983. So he could talk about me actually better than I can talk about myself. I saw him in 1983. I was a student at JIPMER. JIPMER didn't have a urology department. We had a general surgeon who, a very, very good teacher. My teacher was Dr. Budhraja from Delhi. He was a general surgeon who was doing urology. To my interest, he was the first person who talked about radiation therapy for the treatment of prostate cancer. This was completely of academic interest because JIPMER at that time did not have a radiation therapy department, nor did we treat prostate cancer. And that was my entire exposure to urology. Simple prostatectomies is what we did, and complex open stone surgery. In 1983, I had risen in the academic ranks, and I had become a tenured associate professor. And much to my surprise and happiness, I got the letter from Washington University when I was in Dr. Bhandari's presence. He had organized a huge meeting for urethral stricture, and I couldn't attend the meeting because of travel commitments. But he said, come the day after the meeting and we'll sit down and talk. And I spent several hours in the presence of his family and him. And we've become fast friends since then. I think I visited him half a dozen times in JIPMER and at Sanjay Gandhi. He trusted me with his son, Akshay, who had finished medical school and then came and joined us, first as a research fellow in the lab working on kidney stone disease, and then as a clinician. And you can see the genes in the family. Akshay is just a fine human being and a fine surgeon, and now is a professor of surgery at Mount Sinai Hospital in Miami. Akshay spent 11 years with me, and we succeeded in getting Mahindra Bhandari to come and join me. I'm not sure that I was the first person to do a robotic prostatectomy in the US. I may have, if you use that technically, in the sense that we did the operation from the beginning to the end. I think there was one case where a general surgeon and a urologist started doing it, and they did part of the cases robotically, and then they abandoned it. But we sat down and we created a program. A program is nothing if you don't know your data. And collecting the data is extraordinarily difficult and requires a labor of love. For the first 4 years, Ashutosh Tiwari was the resident, and he collected the data. But it was just one resident calling the patients, and this would not stand up to careful scrutiny in the literature. And I was uncomfortable about this, but I didn't know what to do about it. Collecting data was not that common in the United States. Records were not computerized in most places in the United States, not at Harvard, not at the Mayo Clinic, not at Hopkins, but they were computerized at Henry Ford Health System. So Dr. Bhandari came in, and I was greatly relieved to have him take over. I didn't know much about computers then. I don't know much about computers now. But he, as you will see from this wonderful talk, he knows about these things. He's got a rare insight into the future, and he started our database. You'll know that at the end of today, we'll be submitting a paper on the first 20 years of robotic prostatectomy, and which is going to be done by another Indian resident of mine, Akshay Sood. So over a period of time, Dr. Bhandari and I got one well-intended reputation, and that is we created a good training program, and Henry Ford was a good place to train and become a surgeon. We also, quite unintentionally, created another image, and that is the only way you can be a good robotic surgeon is if you are from India and you come to Detroit and train. And I'm happy to tell you that's no longer the case. But it was kind of funny. You'd go to meetings and they'd say, "Oh, this is of Indian origin. Of course, he's a great robotic surgeon." But we have trained some of the great robotic surgeons, Ashok Hemal, Alok Srivastava, Akshay Bandari, Ketan Badani, and we've seen some non-Indian urologists too, like Danny Un, Khurshid Guru, and I may be missing some people because I'm speaking off the cuff. So it's been my privilege to work with Dr. Bandari. It's been my privilege to help the field of Indian urology, particularly in robotics. Following along with Dr. Bandari here, he took the lead in setting the programs. And it's an honor to share this podium with him and you. Good evening and enjoy the rest of the presentations. I saw a preview on it and it is absolutely fascinating. Thank you, Dr. Priyadarshi.
Thank you, sir. Would you like to say something about your recent, about that precision prostatectomy that you are working on? Brief comment.
I have felt that prostate cancer surgery has lagged behind breast cancer surgery in its sophistication. And other than the fact that we're using the robot, we're doing the same operation that was done in 1948. And that's not the field for breast cancer. Most breast cancers are not treated with mastectomies, but 25% are, but 75% are treated with breast-preserving surgery, the only purpose being cosmesis. So we thought maybe we could model prostate cancer and see, do we need to take out the entire prostate in everyone? Can we preserve the prostatic capsule in some patients? And if you preserve the prostatic capsule, you are going to have better nerve preservation and you'll have better urinary and sexual function. So Dr. Bandari and I and Rajesh Alawat from Medanta, who was visiting us, we sat down and we brainstormed and we found out that 80% of time, 80% of patients, there is a zone of the prostate, of the prostatic capsule that can be preserved. The only way you know that there's no cancer there is by creating sophisticated biopsies. So if you biopsy that area, and if there's no cancer, you can preserve it, and the return of sexual function, particularly, and urinary function is dramatic. So that we called, operation we called precision prostatectomy. My original intention was to call it modified radical prostatectomy, which is an acronym for Mr. P, but I was told that I was being too frivolous and precision prostatectomy is the term we would use. So we've done 5 years of that, hope to do a randomized control trial, both at Henry Ford, at Sinai, and maybe in the UK. And then we'll see whether this, where the chips fall.
Thank you, sir. Actually, sir, your pioneering and groundbreaking work has definitely changed the way urologists operate today. In fact, you, in your own words, married the traditional surgery and the computer-assisted technology to create a novel visionary modality through which patients receive not only equivalent but better outcomes. So today we know robotic surgery is so common, and more than 7 million robotic surgeries have been done in the world today since its inception, and almost 1 million robotic surgery are being done every year now. And this is probably your pioneering work which has contributed a lot in this process. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot for again sparing your valuable time here and giving us the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Priyadarshi. Thanks, Mahin. Take care. Bye.